Namaskar. Welcome to Ancient Wisdom. Couple of days back, we have seen the Anachronous paradox and how it applies to our knowledge of history and how to scientifically utilize it. Last time we had utilized it for seeing ancient history and our understanding of it. Today, we will be relating the Anachronous paradox to current times. So let us revise. What is Anachronous paradox? We attach it to the knowledge that we have already and common sense as of current time and apply it to whatever knowledge we are acquiring or keep acquiring, as a result of which we keep building our own knowledge building itself. But what happens if some incongruent knowledge comes in? In that case, we have to dismantle the building and make that incongruent knowledge to a congruent knowledge and make a new structure that fits this new reality. Today, we'll be seeing how it is applying in today's times, and of course with some examples. The first example that we'll take is that fan in a lift. Anytime you go to a older buildings, you will see the lift there has a fan and there is a switch. Once you close the door, you put on the fan, and after reaching the floor, that off. In general, there is also notice there that whenever not in use, put the fan off, or when you are exiting the lift, put the fan off. Now if I ask you why, most of the people answer, oh, it is to conserve electricity, it is to save electricity. Fan in a lift which is not working is waste of electricity, etc. etc. So basically, waste of electricity. From where did you get this knowledge? You haven't got this knowledge. Think about it. You have created this logic that putting off the fan in a lift saves electricity. Whereas, in fact, it doesn't. Because, come to think of it, the fan motor is about 1/8 HP or 1/4 HP, whereas the lift motor is about 100 to 200 HP. That means the lift motor is at least 400 times more or bigger than the fan motor, which in other words means that even if the fan remains on for 24 hours, it will consume less electricity than the lift going up and down even once. It is that minuscule amount of electricity as compared to the electricity used by the lift. This is what Anachronous paradox is. We have created our own explanation and we accept it as our own explanation, which may not be scientific, which may not be correct, but we don't know whether it is not correct, whether it is not scientific, unless we critically analyze it, and then only we can appreciate it. The other two examples that we can talk about are connected with our use of mobile phone. Use of mobile phone is prohibited in an aircraft when taking off and landing, and use of mobile is also prohibited, strictly prohibited, on a petrol pump. And the reason at both places is interference with the existing machines on those places. In case of aircraft, it is the navigation system, and in case of petrol pump, it is the petrol mechanism or petrol machine mechanism, which relates or which creates interference, and therefore you are prohibited from using mobile. And that logic everyone buys, everyone accepts that logic. The reason being, we have never critically looked into it. In aircraft, the pilots themselves are using laptops or certain devices which are using Wi-Fi, and they are sitting very next to the engine. If those systems don't interfere, how can your mobiles wood. And in case of a petrol pump, the petrol pump is 7 connected. All the machines, they are connected either by Wi-Fi or some kind of connection to their head offices. So the head office has up-to-date information of every uh, in each and every petrol pump, and this information is regularly, repeatedly updated in the. That means there is a continuous flow of mobile information from the petrol pump to outside. In which case, more mobiles working on the same wavelength or working on the same frequency. Think about it. And when you think about it, you will start understanding that the solution is something different than what you used to. In both of these cases, it is not the use of mobile. In both of these cases, what is necessary is criticality of the incident. In an aircraft, the most critical period is taking off or landing. And in that period, just consider that if everybody, all the 250 to 300 passengers, keep talking on mobile, saying hi to their near and dear ones, what will be the chaos that will ensue? And in this case, if a security or safety instruction has been announced, nobody would be aware of that and a catastrophe would follow. This is the reason we require everybody's attention and no distraction is permitted in this time. This is also the reason why the shutters of the windows are kept up, so everybody is able to see outside as well as inside, and more eyes, more ears, more attention for the safety of everybody. This is the basic reason. There is no other basic reason for this. In case of petrol pump, in the same way, especially the petrol pumps in the US or Europe, where there is hardly any attendant, if you are distracted by using a phone, many times it so happens, it doesn't happen so much in India because there is an operator. Many times it so happens that a person with a petrol car comes in a distracted stage, he stands in front of the meter which is dispersing diesel and puts that nozzle in his car in place of petrol, or fills petrol in case of diesel, or many times some of these pumps are not automatically closed off, or the petrol keeps running, and if he is distracted by something like a mobile call, then he will not notice, and by the time he notices, it might be too late. So again, reduction of distraction is the core issue in this case. In the same way, you can find in and around you at least 10 to 15 different areas where Anachronous paradox can be applied and your knowledge horizon can be improved and increased. Do think about it, do look around, observe and send us your observations. Also send us your questions which will be answering through the one of the episodes of Ancient Wisdom. Today we'll stop here. Namaskar.